a reasonable number.
Well, no, you've got
Well,
both ends of Stoneham.
can we post it? We should check to see if the state will allow us to post them on the state road as you enter the town. Otherwise, we have 23 roads in town. You know,
Once you have that many signs out, it looks like we have this epidemic going on.
Through the town.
Well, that's just it. So, could you check with the state and see if they'll let us post?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you've got Governors, you've got 109 on both ends.
Yep.
You've got Stoneham on both ends.
Yep.
You've got Garney and Clark. And that's...
Lyford.
No, because Lyford doesn't dump into... Lyford's in town. Both ends of it are in town.
That's true.
So that's what, 1, 2...
Why both ends
three-
of Clark?
No, just one end of Clark.
Oh, one end of Clark.
Just the entry point, right there by Ernie Brown's.
Yeah.
So
Do you want to put them on the backside of like Tumbledown Dick as the...
Because that is an entry point for ATVs and snowmobilers. So yeah, you would need to put one up there.
Or put it at the end over
Oh,
by
see, now
Camp
you're
Road.
opening it up because now you've got Connell Hill,
Genis.
I don't see anybody coming over from Genis
That
to
was
here.
my-
Snowmobile trail goes through there.
That was my next topic.
No, I'm just saying, well, I say it's not Genis Road, it's Tibbetts Hill on the, because Tibbetts Hill goes all out to Genis Road, you know.
Yes,
Class
it
6
does.
portion does. And that's where the snowmobile trail is.
Give you that. You're not going to drive it.
Oh, no, what?
Well, a Jeep with good tires and
Not going to drive it.
some lift on it, we might be able to.
Not going to drive it.
Did you try?
Yeah.
While you're on signs, I did have Ron Pryor.
Well, he's on my list too. I talked to you two of you last week about that.
He requested the speed limit signs be replaced. I know the one by my
Oh,
house.
the weight limit?
No, not the weight limit. The speed. Well, he may have asked about that as well. The
No,
speed.
he didn't. He requested the speed limit and the children at play or caution children sign to be replaced.
I know the one in front of my house has been painted over, so it would be one that could be replaced.
And as I told him, I had to check with you, and I would check with the archivist, because at some meeting here, I thought that road got increased to 30 miles an hour. Because I don't, there was a question a while back whether they could really enforce that, because some of our dirt roads are 30 miles an hour.
Right.
So, it warrants some investigation, that's all.
I remember talking to the police department, and the 25 mile an hour is enforceable, but that's the lowest speed limit you can set in the state that can be legally enforced. That's what they inform me of.
But I'm just concerned that a mistake on my part to remove, if I was supposed to remove those signs 3 or 4 years ago and I never did.
I don't remember ever increasing that
Okay.
that speed limit from 25 to 30 or 35. I remember there was some discussion about it, especially like because we were discussing about how there's 2 different posted speed limits on Moose Mountain Road.
Mm-hmm.
The upper portion and the lower portion are at different speeds.
Yeah, they were.
Right. And that was the one I know we were changing that to be 1 speed.
Yep. And we increased, I believe Tumbledown Dick got increased. But I'll do what you want. That's why
I check with the archivist and have them pull that and see, just to verify whether or not that portion of Lyford was brought up to the rest of the speeds. So it's the speed limit signs. What happened to the speed limit signs on Lyford?
They're just they haven't been replaced. The reflectivity has gone out of them, and
They're painted over. Mine's painted over.
as yours was painted over. You see, his was painted 35.
Okay.
My next topic is I went up to Genis Road, I think it was. Is that what it's called? Genis?
Yeah.
Genis Road.
Genis Road.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Well,
But, however-
I did the same thing upon hearing
Yeah.
that somebody was going to supposedly be here at the last meeting. I beat feet right out there to check the road out and
Seem,
easily drive it with a car.
yep.
For a point of reference to our people that we have here, I guess.
Genes Road is a Class 6 road in Brookfield. It's a
3/10 of a mile.
3/10 of a mile long. It goes from Wakefield, Brookfield into Wolfboro. There are homes in the Wakefield side and there are homes on the Wolfboro side. But that stretch of Brookfield, there's nothing there. And it's been a Class 6 road forever. And the contention is that Brookfield needs to maintain that road. But it's a Class 6, so we don't maintain it. We don't plow it. The folks from the Wolfboro side plow it. Somebody up there plows it.
Yeah, it's a private individual.
Right.
Wolfboro, I believe Wolfboro pays an individual in that community to plow their section of road.
And then he
Because
just plows.
they're not gonna come all the way out around,
Yeah.
out,
So they've
28
contracted with somebody to plow
16.
their section, and he plows the Brookfield side as well. But they're constantly wanting us to come up there and upgrade it. And
My only comment is, the Class 6 not maintained sign is in tough shape. And there's one on both ends of our town. But one is almost gone, and it's very clear, Class 6 not maintained, and we're losing that sign. So I know it's a country mile.
losing it because of vandals? Or
No,
is
no, it's just wear and tear, age.
So when you're,
We just put the, okay.
so when you're in the area, and I know it's a country mile, I mean,
Literally.
yeah,
Up by my house, Gary.
it's pretty clear that we don't maintain it. So I hate to lose the sign, right?
Right.
Say, oh, I
No,
never
I
saw
was
it.
there.
Yeah, I remember putting those signs in.
Yeah, they weren't that long
Not that
ago.
old.
It's still there, but it's going. It's going.
Oh, so it's leaning.
Way down, yeah.
Oh,
So,
Oh, that's just resetting
The plow
it.
guy pushed them over. Did we send
Maybe.
him a bill?
I don't know who pushed them over. I don't want to put Phil on the road.
No, that's all right, we'll go straighten them out.
Thank you.
We do maintain that road to a point that police and fire and ambulance can pass on it, and that's it. Other than that, if it's a little rough,
But we don't maintain it in the winter. Do
no,
we?
no, we don't plow it at all.
No.
But we just make sure that if the road was to wash out, then we would have a responsibility to ensure that police, fire, and ambulance could cross it. It could be bumpy, but they have to be able to cross it.
Any other questions?
So I have a question, he's been given the okay to do all of these?
No, right now, we just told him to get,
Well, he doesn't have to do it, they just
The
deliver
sand
it.
and-
So,
and
I
the
mean,
salt
what is
shed.
something for that they can work on? He's just gonna have them deliver that, doesn't take his work, right?
well, it does take work for them.
Oh, yeah.
The sand salt, because they have to,
We gotta mix it, we gotta mix
Oh,
the
okay,
salt.
fine, you're gonna have to keep you busy, okay.
but some of this other stuff needs to get done.
Well, some of it was okayed last year, so,
That was last year.
good. If last year's last year, then I wanna put high limit on this list.
Well, this comes to about 25K, right? Like, rough numbers. Year's half gone, your budget should be about half gone, summer maintenance.
Yeah.
So there's,
We'd have to talk to the treasurer. But I
yeah,
think
you've been
we're-
tracking pretty close.
I think we're actually probably slightly ahead of ourselves, but taking time to do the warrant project
No.
is gonna take time from the maintenance, and then it's gonna go back the other way. So it's all gonna work fine, trust me.
So there's a house here.
Where I was going, if this is 25K and the budget is another 75 or whatever is left, there must be more work than
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's ongoing, we get heavy rains, I gotta go out and fix ditches. Tree comes down, there's just, that's why it's, to be blunt, that's why the road maintenance is by the hour, because it's just things that come up.
I think we should approve 3 of these to give me okay to go to 3, just depending on, they don't bring the sand or salt for a while, I'll have something else to work on, I don't know when that all is gonna happen, so that there's 3 things in the hopper to be done.
Well, the cutting of the bank on Stoneham in front of Jay Badgers, you're gonna do that when you've got the equipment up there, right? That was
I
the
wasn't
plan?
intending on doing all of these this year.
What's that?
I was intending on doing.
Well, nothing says that you're not going to do all of them. I was just saying, but you were planning on doing the J. Badger one
That makes sense to do.
when you were
while-
doing the road work up on Stoneham,
Yep.
on the top of Stoneham.
Yep.
So, at that point, and when, do you have an idea when you're gonna start on that?
Yep, July 23rd.
Oh, okay.
We'll put some informational signs out next week, let people know we'll be up there working, and we're gonna get going.
Okay. I'll keep you out of trouble.
It doesn't take much to keep me out of trouble.
You don't happen to know what's left in the budget for the road right now, do you? Off the cusp?
I don't think I brought it. Oh, here. I have the end of last month here. This is through the end of May, so it doesn't include June yet. But that would be the last. We didn't pay you that much
I know.
last. So does Ray. Last time, so that.
So, what was the, do you have a projection of what we spent in June? 15?
I doubt if it was that high. I would say closer to 10 to 12.
I'll go for a figure.
Well, even if we figured 15 to be safe, that leaves about 80,000 in that, in the highway streets, not including the 75 for the upper Stoneham project. And we know that we're gonna take, was it 12 out of that?
10-6.
So now you're down to 70,000. So if this is about 25K, that's still gonna leave, you're still looking at 40,000
We gotta
left.
save, providing that, we do this, and the salt and sand's full, and everything else, we only have to set aside 15 for snow plowing to get to the first of the year.
That's a look.
Only 15?
That's all we say for the fiscal, till January 1st.
That sounds like a promise to me.
You're banking that it's not gonna snow this year.
I have no clue. I do a snow dance when I run out of this summer work.
Okay.
And the taxpayers do another snow
It worked good on
dance.
Halloween last year, but I got real excited and forgot to continue.
It's gotta be a weekly or a nightly
Yeah.
dance at that point. A big portion of this work is strictly, more than half, 50% of it's the sand salt. That's 13.5 right there. So, does that figure include the mixing of it and putting it in? Or is that just your figure for what the materials
That's
are
just the
costing?
figure for the materials, delivering of it.
So how much do you think that it's gonna cost on top of that? Just a rough eyeball.
I don't know.
Another 2,000,
That'd
1,000?
be more than plenty. Yep.
So now you're up to about 26,000.
I mean, if I didn't realize this was your intent to itemize my maintenance budget, so if you want to write down, I'll give you a few more things if you guys want to keep writing. We need to fill the liquid tanks.
Oh.
That's roughly $5,000.
And how did that liquid work last year on the roads in the winter?
I think the liquid would work fine. We don't use it enough in the winter. I'm still in a learning curve. So it worked, learning when to apply it. When I can apply it on a dry road, it seemed to work good. What I want to do now is I want to set my truck up for a pre-wetting of the sand to help reduce the salt and make the sand more effective. Instead of spraying it on the road, I want to spray it in as the sand comes out the sander, And before it hits, as it's falling to the spinner, if I run a spray in there, it's gonna pre-wet the sand, and the sand's gonna hold it better. So it's, like I said, it's a learning curve. It works great in the summer.
Yeah, it's dust control.
Oh yeah, just
Okay.
one product. Does both summer and winter.
Okay, what else?
I would like to stock some ground asphalt. I'd like to buy some and have some on hand. It's hard to get. The paving company that we've been using no longer sells it. They put it back into they recycle it into their paving. And the only place I know that sells it, it's one of them things, it's a hit or miss.
So what are you gonna use the ground asphalt for?
I want to start backing up the asphalt with it, doing the shoulder work with the ground up asphalt.
Isn't that what we used up on
It is.
Tumble and it held up
It's been-
perfect?
It's been great.
Okay.
It's worked really well. So, I would like to stockpile some of that to have it because, like I said, it's a hit or miss. And if we have our own little stock and we can,
Well, when they're grinding up stone, can't we just have them dump a truckload?
if that's what you want to use it that way, if you don't want to screen it, that's fine.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, they.
It's ground up asphalt, right?
Right, but it's not sized and put through a crusher. And,
Oh, okay. So there's a little bit more than just grinding?
yeah, it's a little
Okay.
more than just grinding it up. And that, I'm going to stop back at the pit tomorrow. And the product is $9.50 a yard, and he's supposed to give me a price to deliver it to the shed. But I'm suspecting it's gonna be probably $5 a yard to deliver it,
So you're looking at $14.50?
something in that neighborhood.
So we'll just quote it. And how many yards are you looking to think you're gonna need?
If I can fit 200 yards in there, I'd love to have it.
Where are you gonna put that?
Somewhere over the yard, over by the salt shed. And then we'll back up when it comes time. Some of it we'll use right away when we're done Stone Road. We'll back up the new pavement with it. And then we'll just have it on hand for when we do other shoulder work, or we need some for a hill that's continuing the problem. It just works so good. And being such a product that's being hard to get, he's got a pile of it down there. So I'd like to get some of it.
I think instead of asking Ed to make these numbers up on the fly right now, we got about $30,000, I think the number you came up with, that we either are going to use on maintenance or other expenditures or other projects. And I think we should just keep that number in mind, decide how we want to use that money. And as we go through the maintenance budget, you're going to use some up. But if something comes up that has to be done, I think we should try to push that onto the work program.
Well, not including these projects right here, we're looking at about $75,000 left in the road budget.
Yep, and we take 25 out,
So we take 25 out, that leaves about 50,000.
and then you take 10 out for the road work, he's down to 40.
No, that's already taken out before you get to the 75. There's actually 95,000 in the road budget right now.
I thought we were going to take 10 out of the road budget for the...
I did, and I subtracted that before I gave you the 75.
Okay, so there's more there.
Yes,
That's your point, there's more there.
yes, I was being conservative.
So I think we should take a look at how we want to use that money, how Ed wants to use it, how we think we should use it over the next 6 months.
Well, these are projects that really need to get done, correct? These are priority projects that need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I make a motion that Ed proceed on these in a sequential order, and if all of a sudden we're running out of money, we'll just have to stop it. But it just starts pecking one out, and these are the ones that he does in sequential order, and if we notice a month from now we're getting tight on money, we're just gonna say stop wherever he is, so we should do the ones that need to be done first.
I'll second that.
That's pretty much how I've been running the show anyways.
We know, we just,
Okay.
and I promise I won't take any more money out of your road budget for other projects.
He's speaking as an individual.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm keeping the public well informed.
All right, so I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay, would you like to talk about the warrant project?
Sure, let's talk about the warrant project.
So as I told you, we're gonna start on the 23rd. in the Wolfboro section that we plowed to get to the top and turn around, I didn't measure it, but I'm guessing it's probably 75 feet, 50 feet, 75 feet up into the Wolfboro side of things. There is a maple tree that is getting scarred up very badly. It's this far off the pavement. And so I stopped up there twice. I stopped yesterday and I stopped a week or so ago to see if they'll let us cut it down. We plow it, it's no big deal, I'll cut it down, I feel we should take that expense. It's a historical district up there, so we have to go through some hoops and jumps, but I've started that process to try to get that tree taken down. So just letting you know.
Doesn't Wolfboro turn around in that same area?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
At the top of the hill. This is down on the side, as I'm coming up.
Right, it's right across from the church. That's where you guys turn around?
That's where we turn around.
Right.
The tree is down the hill.
Is that on Andy Tapper's property?
Yes, it would be. Yep.
The Wolfboro side of Andy's property.
Wolfboro side of Andy's property, yes, that is correct. So anyway, just letting you know that, because if they give me the go-ahead and I take that down in the process of doing all this work, and somebody calls up in a panic, and I'm cutting and doing stuff in Wolfboro, I'm obviously not gonna do it until I get their permission. So, just to let you know that.
Is Mr. Tapper aware of this tree?
Not yet.
Okay.
Is he aware of the tree?
Yeah, is he aware that you're looking to cut the tree down?
It's on his
I haven't
property.
talked to him about it yet.
Yeah, it's on his property.
Well, it's in the right of way,
Okay.
so it's being a road hazard.
Wait a minute.
It's not a sugar maple, is it?
Is this tree in Brookfield or in Wakefield?
It's in
Wolfboro.
Wolfboro,
Wolfboro, I meant.
in the right of
So he
way.
owns in Wolfboro. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, he owns up in.
I was unaware of that.
He's got his kidder in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's how he pulls maple syrup out from the lower sugar bush.
Yeah.
As well as a few.
And then, again, what we have the right to do and going about it one way as opposed to trying to be nice, and I feel we need to speak to Ben Bean, or I need to speak to Ben Bean and Pierre Lamy, because their property is going to be affected greatly by what we do up there. I caught up with Ben Bean yesterday. His only request about cutting, because we're going to go back to our original 18 feet, and we're going to try to get more, so we have proper ditches and everything else. And his only request was if I could leave some of the lilac roots so they'll grow back eventually, do what I need to do. That was Ben's response. Mr. Lamy might be different. He's planted lilies, or I think they're wild, but he's cultivating lilies right up to the edge of the tar. You know, few issues through there that are going to have to be addressed. So he's one I'm going to try to connect with him tomorrow. And that's about all I have to say.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Conservation Commission.
Nothing?
Emergency Management's not here.
Yes, he has somebody
Oh,
though
wait.
that's coming on June 17th. I think it's the 17th. July, I'm sorry. Yeah,
You say that
I
was
wrote
passed.
June. And it's June Garno, if I said her name correctly, and that has to do with the grant that he had worked up for the grant, and it's been paid for, and she's coming to make a presentation.
On the,
Remember, he did his grant
yes,
for
what day, July 7th?
July 17th, I believe. Is that a meeting day?
No, today's the 10th.
No, it
That's
can't
next.
be. All right,
That's
so,
why I asked.
thank you.
I'm not looking at you.
I messed it
Well,
up.
actually, I am, but sorry.
She'll be here alone, don't worry
I
about it.
just got the email.
She's coming? She'll be here soon.
I will
Soon.
double check that,
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
Good.
And if it is, then we need to post it and let us know so we know to show up.
And your email. did
If you
say
can't
July
change it to the
17th.
following Tuesday, which will be
Okay.
a regular selectmen's meeting.
Yep.
Okay. Forest Fire Warden's not here. Governor Wentworth School. Heritage Commission.
Heritage Commission meets tomorrow night, 7 o'clock here. We will be working on the final plans for Old Home Day. We are doing an Antiques Roadshow type event from noon to 2:30. We will have antique appraisers in the townhouse to give people values. We're charging $5 for one item, maximum of 3 items per person for $12. And that will be followed by the dinner.
And the monies from that go to?
They go to the Heritage Commission.
To do Heritage Commission stuff.
Heritage Commission stuff. And we are going to have a raffle during the dinner.
We having music this year?
Yes, we're having music this year. Clearly Related String Band is coming back.
Good
And we're doing a raffle during the dinner to raffle off a Town of Brookfield sweatshirt being donated by Mr. Brown. And the money from that will go to track. So we have all kinds of money being collected at.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it?
All right. Joint loss management quarterly meeting will be August 14th, 2012.
Coming up quick.
Yeah, I know. Planning board, you got anything else you want to say? You're on here twice.
No.
Okay.
I've got another question for Ed. We crawled under the schoolhouse to look at beams.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have a chance to figure out what we should do there?
Yep. I gave a price to Mary Lou for doubling up those, sticking a floor joist in between,
Yep.
since they're only 8 inches. You can't get a truss or what they call a silent joist that short, but you can get LVLs, which are 1 3/4 thick by 7 7/8 tall. It's an odd number, but they're super strong, and I gave her a price to install those in between every one of those that are there with hangers, and then adding some supports to the main beam going that way.
And our concern was the load for your...
For Old Home Day, and Ed said it would be fine to put a table of 10 people back there if we need to, which we would need to. If we have, last year we served 110 meals, and so it would have been better to place a table back there.
So it's only for thin people or people that don't like it?
Careful, you're treading.
Oh, yeah, politically correct. Yeah, be
Remember,
careful.
Let's go.
everybody walks through there though as well,
Yeah,
so.
so
Because that's
They
how
just all
get-
can't jump up and down at the
No, they
same
can't all
time.
jump up and down. But he felt it was safe for the moment.
So you're not planning to do anything before the Old Home Day?
To repair it.
Or you don't know?
That's 30 days from
I
now.
know it's 30. But it's still the 10th. Yeah.
Well, I would say we're not because I received a price that is not currently in the budget, is the way I'm going to phrase it. Because we will have to put it out to bid in the fall, I'm assuming. And so it's not in the budget to do it this year.
All right, so we may not even do it once we get done figuring out what we want to do with the building.
No, I think we'll do it, but it needs to be in the budget.
May I ask a question about the budget?
No.
The budget that is not there, is that in the Heritage Commission budget? That you're
See,
talking
no,
about?
I would think it would be in
The,
like the
building
capital or the
maintenance.
building and blah, blah,
It would be in the
blah.
building maintenance.
That's what I just wanted clarification on what budget she was talking about.
Right, but it's not in that one either, to the best of my knowledge, really.
Depending on what the amount was of the bid.
More than 5, less than 10. Well, I don't think it's fair to give your price away if,
I know, that's okay.
No, I'm just looking.
I guess my point is, before we start spending any serious money on the building, we should figure out what the town wants to do.
exactly.
right. Although I would say that something, short of having the building moved, that floor would need to be repaired, would be my feeling, right?
Yeah, if you're gonna continue to use the building, it needs,
It needs to be repaired.
yeah.
Well, not only that, but doesn't the joist, not the joist,
Carrying beam,
Rafters?
Ceilings.
the trusses up in the attic